ask you a quick questions. How many of you have some cash in your wallets? Don't panic, I will not take your money. So how many of you have some cash in your wallets? Can you raise your hands? So I want to just take your pockets out and just put aside and hold it like for 5 seconds. Come on, time is passing. Okay, just hold it. So let's wait for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is there any change in the amount of money? But I'm not talking about time amount of money. Actually, there's a time amount of money, and your money is changing over time. Today's financial images deal with what is today's value of expected future cash flows is. Let me give you one example. The jackpot in the Powerball lottery is like $110 million. I assume I'm correct. And the winning lottery is like $110 million. They are just saying that. But actually, does it worth $110 million? No, it doesn't, because they pay out like over 20-year period. And each year they pay like $5.5 million. So what does it worth then? So it depends on the time value of money. And I'm going to just talk about it today. And you guys have the handouts. And what is the time value of money? It's basically, $1 in your hand works more than, $1 that promised to you in the future. And I'm going to just talk about some basic concepts like future value and the other concepts at the time. That's me. Let's start with future value. What's future value? It's the value of your investment at some time in the future. And you all guys have the examples in your handout. And let's look at the first example in your handout. So suppose you have a $100 in your hand, and the interest rate is 10%. So what is your future value in 1 year? Future value of your $100. So that's our question. So our interest rate is 10%. I know it as R. And what's the value in 1 year? So value in 1 year is as you see in your handouts, the principal, that's the original money, the original amount of money you have at the beginning of the period, and plus the interest rate that you earn on it. Because when you deposit your money or when you invest your money in the bank, you earn some interest. So in 1 year, you're going to earn, you're going to have $100. This is the principal amount plus $10. That's the interest you earn. So at the end of 1 year, you're going to have $110. So this is the future value of your 100 in 1 year. So let's look at another case. What if if you invest in more than one period or 1 year? In our example, the period time is year. So let's look at the second example, and that's the continuation of the first example. So what if you leave your money in the bank 1 more year? So that means that we are looking for the future value of your $100 in 2 years. So from the previous example, we learned that at the end of the first year, we have $110. So in the second year, we are going to also earn some interest. And you remember our interest rate is 10%. So multiply by 10%. So I'm going to get $11 as an interest amount in the second year. So I can calculate my future value of my $100 in 2 years. So it's going to be $110. Remember, this is at the end of the first year, and plus $11. So it's going to be $120. So what we are doing here, we are in the process of leaving your money in the bank, and you accumulate some interest on it. So we call it compounding. It's like reinvesting your interest, or you can say that it's like you're earning interest on interest. So you remember you are the interest in the first year, and then you get some more interest. So we call it, compounding. And let me close look at the formula. The formula how we calculate is $120. So as you see in your handouts, it's like $110 multiplied by 1.1. So what does it mean? So I'm just repeating again. This is the amount of money, the value of your money at the end of the first year, and this is how much your money grows at 1 year, because this refers for the second year. So I can rewrite this as like that. So principal amount of money at the beginning of your time, and again, this is how much it grows in 1 year, and this is in the second year. And if you look at your formulas, it's going to be like 100 multiplied by 1.1 to the power 2. What it means is, this is your principal amount of money, that's the original amount of your money. This is how much your money grows in 1 year, or in 1 period, and this is the number of years. So from this point, we just come to the general formula for future value, and I'm just going to do it for just $1. Future value of $1 is the original amount of money multiplied by 1 plus interest rate. That refers how much your money grows at 1 year or 1 period to the power t. And remember, this t refers to number of years or number of periods, and that's the general formula for future value. And I'm going to stop here. Do you have any questions?